overcame all the odds. I ain't been playing it safe, nah. I was just giving my all. I'm taking it there. Hop in the Wraith and we lay in the stars. I made it happen to bars, yeah. I was just playing my cards. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there. It's gonna be a riot, doubt me it's quiet. I got the can of gas, I'm about to ignite. I am driven, I won't ever get tired, cause I've been left behind, I have to get right. Waiting on the sign, now I just wait on myself. Got nothing weighing on the mind. One thing I learned after all this time, the mountain you carry meant for you to climb. All this time, I'm on the grind. Oh, I'm shining, nothing can stop me. All these years, blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm still here. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Ready!
Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses. And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Lawrence will throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to the ground with Etienne. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Channing Tindall. And the Dolphins will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And 22 more yards there and another 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Edmonds will score. Touchdown, Miami. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now Lawrence. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Mayfield. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, I won't go overboard here, but it looks like he's off to another nice start after what he did last week when he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, obviously a great start to the season, doing it in week 1. He's one of those guys we maybe had pegged for a big year, showing out so far.
Well, you did say that to me in preseason. Looks like you're on target.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They'll try to run with Edmonds. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Oluwakin. And the Jaguars are going to have it here just past the 25.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
A give to ETN running right. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And credit the tackle to Brandon Jones. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jaguars will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game. Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 3rd time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Have excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, Mayfield. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags will take over possession here up at the 44. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Lawrence. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 44. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. They looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And they'll work this down inside the 30. If you're a fan of old-school physical football, that play was for you.
No doubt about it. That play was for anyone who likes football. He did everything properly on that one. Great contact, wrapped it up, unable to jar the ball free. The only disappointment on the play for him.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off, Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they give him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Lawrence to throw. Screenplay, here's Etienne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And now here is another interception. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Patterson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Glenn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Dolphins. That's a prime example of the danger that Baker Mayfield presents when he's able to get outside of the pocket.
And we see many quarterbacks do this in the league. A lot of them have that good mobility, but we see them, they're more like striders, right? There's a smoothness to them. When I watch Baker Mayfield, everything is sharp, hard, aggressive. and he turns it into a big-time shot downfield and a monster play.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free-possession game.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Rolling to his right. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On second down, ETN once more. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were in the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
You ready?
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Well, sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And he's not going to get in as a try for two comes up empty, so they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Foyesade Amulikin. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. On first down, Lawrence. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They go play action now. Lawrence sliding out of the pocket. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Lawrence. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense. Blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On the ready.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run it here. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. A gain of 3, second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And going deep for Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to get it back here just past the 35. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
It's tight end. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8. Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
From midfield now, Lawrence. Man open, here is Jones. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. That gain on third down, good for 28. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Etienne once more. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 48 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Etienne up the middle. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. They'll run with Etienne, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Let's go.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. I think probably just trying to draw him off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
Going for it, here's Etienne.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly force turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turn around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6